If you're a solo acoustic guitarist and singer between the ages of 35 and 75, and you want to finally get out there playing live with confidence, whether that's an open mic or a pub gig or a local community event or just playing for friends and family, then stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you the simple system that has helped complete beginners, hobbyist musicians, musicians returning to music after long breaks, to go from feeling not ready to confident performers in as little as 8 to 12 weeks. And I'm talking about real people here. People like Andy in England, who did his first ever solo gig this year, even though he had a lot of doubts around his vocals. Now he's out there gigging regularly and getting rebooked. Or Keith in Michigan went from feeling very nervous about playing in front of people, not believing he was good enough, to now playing regularly in his hometown. Richard in Australia went from playing regular open mics and unpaid gigs to doing 17 paid gigs in 1 month. Or Tom in Ohio went from playing occasionally as part of a duo act to booking 8 solo gigs in his first month. All of these musicians quietly carried that desire of playing live for years, but things got in the way. Careers, family, responsibilities, and guitar and singing took a back step. For others, it was a case of not knowing what to do or how to get there. The desire was never missing, they just felt pulled in too many directions, overthought every detail, getting confused by conflicting information online from other musicians, overcomplicating many aspects of performance, and just overall not knowing what to prioritize. My name is Finbar Horgan, and I've been gigging 15 years now. For the last 6 years, I've been full-time gigging in packed pubs, quiet bars, weddings, private events, corporate gigs, and everything in between, with just a guitar and a voice. No band, no special effects, no fancy pedals, just a guy and his guitar. And through my coaching, I've guided over 100 musicians, most of them aged 40 plus, from nervous and overthinking into confident performers. Some came back to music after decades away, some had never gigged before, some had played in bands but never solo, some had never even sang in front of friends and family. Many had talent but no belief that they were actually good enough to play live. But all of them used the simple system I'm about to show you. Now you might be wondering why this mission matters so much to me. And for me to explain that, I'm going to have to tell you about the first person I ever helped with my gig ready method, my own dad. So my dad gigged in his 20s in a band, but he stepped back when careers and family took over. So 30 years passed without him playing live. But just in the last few years, that itch to play live has come back stronger than ever. But he was struggling to get out there, not knowing what to play or how to build a versatile setlist. Now, lucky for my dad, while he was busy for years raising me and my 2 sisters, I had started getting out there gigging in my 20s at university, playing in some student bars. Then I went on to some pub gigs. Then I did some traveling for about 10 years and I ended up gigging in France, Spain, Australia, and now Edinburgh in the UK, where I've been full-time for 6 years, where I'm now one of the most established and respected musicians in the city. It's been a crazy journey for me to get to this point. Some gigs were good, some were terrible. I made so many mistakes along the way. But most importantly, I learned from them. I saw what worked and what didn't work. So by the time my dad was ready to get back out there, I had almost 15 years of knowledge and experience built up. 15 years of trial and error, figuring stuff out on my own the hard way. So I sat down with my dad, rebuilt his set list, adjusted the keys of the songs to fit his vocal style and range, and just found songs that sat comfortably for him. Within a few months, he was back out playing live, doing some gigs. Now he travels abroad, plays some gigs in Spain, earns a bit of money, meets people, and just overall is enjoying playing again, without that fear and uncertainty sitting on his shoulder. So this showed me something. It showed me that I had a system that worked, and it made me think, maybe I can help more people with this. People who have the desire, but don't know how to get there. So there are just 3 components you need to play live with confidence. And trust me, it is much simpler than you think. There's also one big mistake that keeps so many musicians stuck, and I'm 99% sure you're making it. But don't worry, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do next. And just so you know, you don't need lots of natural talent, you don't need perfect pitch, you don't need advanced guitar skills, and your age definitely does not block this milestone. If the desire to play live is there, the confidence can be obtained with the right system. Take Adam, for example. He's been teaching guitar since he was a teenager, even teaching guitar online, doing tutorials, but when it came to playing and singing, he couldn't quite get the songs the way he wanted them. But since using this system, he's now out playing live regularly in Sydney, and even recently did his first ever full 2-hour gig. Or Paul, he's been playing guitar all his life, but never actually had anything solid to perform for people. Jumping from song to song, never actually building a set list. Paul travels the world with his work, and now, after using this system, he performs live regularly for people wherever he goes, and he's loving it. Or Brendan, he's He's played regularly at jam sessions in his local pub, but never had the confidence to actually play solo, struggling to play and sing the songs that he really wanted to play. Now he has a setlist that's unique to him, full of songs he's always wanted to play, but never thought possible. All of these guys had the same fears and uncertainties, and one of the big problems is that most of them never actually had any real feedback on their playing and singing. So they just were not sure what was working and what wasn't. And that kept them stuck, because until you identify what is not working, you can't fix it. So many musicians I see struggle with these same challenges, but with the right system, anyone's potential can be unlocked. Most musicians don't stay in the shadows because they lack ability when it comes to playing and singing. They stay there because they lack a simple system that allows them to put it all together so that it feels solid live. And while they wait around for years waiting for this feeling ready to magically happen, other musicians are taking action, focusing on the simple things and just making it work. Earlier I mentioned that there are 3 components you need to become a confident solo performer. Those are: number 1, playing songs in the right key for your voice, so the song sits where your voice naturally lives instead of feeling like an uphill battle. Take Lee for example. He hadn't played live in 30 years, but when he learned how to use the capo properly, change the keys around, he was back out playing live in a matter of weeks.
Finbar picked me up, he told me how to use the capo, he got me singing again after not playing the guitar for 20 years, and he's just an absolute pleasure. Thanks very much, Finbar.
Number 2 is simplifying your guitar playing so that you can focus on singing confidently. You don't need a looper, you don't need to be doing riffs and solos, you just need space for your vocal to shine, supported by solid, simple guitar underneath. Take Dave for example. He's recently started performing at open mics, and he's been seeing other musicians trying really hard to impress with complicated arrangements of songs, but not really getting anybody's attention. Dave turned up and played the songs we had been working on with the most simple guitar arrangements, and he had the whole place singing along, even had the manager coming up and telling him how great he was and offering him a paid gig.
All the things that you have taught, I deployed in that room and got a result, and it was unbelievable.
Number 3 is playing songs that people actually know. Not obscure stuff, not the hardest song you can find or the most impressive technically, just songs the room already recognizes. When people recognize the song, half of the work is already done for you. Take Richard. He's been playing regularly at open mics for years, but never got asked back for a paid gig. As soon as he played the songs we had been working on at his next open mic, he got the attention of the venue owner and got asked back for his first paid gig. And just last month, Richard did 17 paid gigs in 1 month, just by following this simple system.
Unfortunately, I wasn't getting booked, and I didn't really know why. Since working with Finbar, gigs are pouring in. In fact, in November alone, I've done 17 paid gigs. I haven't done 5 paid gigs in the last 5 years.
And remember I said there was one big mistake that keeps most musicians stuck forever. That is waiting until you feel ready. Believing that someday that feeling of being ready will magically arrive if you just stay practicing at home without any sort of system. And if you're just about to say to yourself again, I just need more time, you don't, because more time just turns into even more time. And before you know it, a year has passed, nothing has changed, and you are no closer to feeling like you can perform live with confidence. Nothing actually changes until you change what you do, not how long you're doing it for. So I didn't build this because I'm naturally gifted. I built it because I was seeing so many people, just like my dad, making the same mistakes that you're probably making right now. And I wanted something that anybody could use, regardless of age, status, background, or how long you've been playing music. And you don't need to gig full-time like I do, or even part-time. Most of my students just want that one clear path, confidence and steady progress toward finally doing the thing that they've been thinking about doing for years. And that's exactly what this system gives you. It is the exact system I wish I had when I was starting out. It would have saved me so many years of trial and error and making mistakes. So if you're serious about building a real solo acoustic musician path and you're sick of trying to figure it out on your own, scroll down and book a strategy call session with my team. But here's the truth, most people won't. They'll tell themselves they're going to continue trying to figure out everything on their own. But that can cost you time, energy, money, and worst of all, missed opportunity. Because the reality is this, you don't know what you don't know. And to perform live with confidence as a solo acoustic performer, you need to get a lot of things right. And I've already spent 15 years gigging in several countries around the world, playing solo, as part of duo acts, as part of cover bands, learning what works and what doesn't work so that you don't have to. And I built the Gig Ready method to shortcut exactly that. So if you're thinking, I just need more time, I'm not ready for this, that's exactly why you need it. Take John. He spent 9 years procrastinating over getting out there playing live. jumping from song to song, buying the next fancy piece of equipment, but never actually focusing on the simple things that get you there. But after following this system, he did his first ever paid solo gig this year, and he had the entire bar singing along with him.
For anybody else that's kind of considering going with you, I would just say do it, because like I say, it was 9 years procrastinating on, I think I'm going to do it next week or next month or 6 months down the line. And just, you know, within this period of time that we've been working together, I've gotten from initial conversation to a paid gig.
So this is your fork in the road. Either you keep on waiting for things to change on their own, or you take action, follow a clear path, and finally step into live performance with confidence. So scroll down, fill out the form, and let's make this happen.
The first gig went very, very well. A lot of thanks has to go to Finbar, because, you know, I was struggling beforehand, but he really did help me smash through those barriers.
Singing songs now that I never would have thought I'd be able to sing, but through Finbar's help and recommendations, I'm now able to sing some very challenging songs.
After working with Finbar, though, things changed dramatically for me. He has a system and an infrastructure in place that will help you achieve your goals.
I started working with Finbar, and all of a sudden now I can sing and I sound really well. And after 2 months of reaching out to bars and pubs and wineries, I booked, I think, 7 or 8 gigs